Bible night with me. Now we are going to read Joshua 7 and we are going to discuss about it. Well, I'm not well trained for this, but I'm trying to, so if you hear I have stuttering words, just ignore it because I'm still learning. Okay. So, Joshua 7, it's about Ashan sin. The story begins when Joshua is given the command from the Lord in the Old Testimony to cross over Jordan and to have battle against the Amorites, the Canaanites. Joshua, which was Moses' descendants, he was sent by the Lord to take over the Canaanites, to take over the land that the Lord had promised him to, that the Lord had promised their ancestors to. Okay, so let's start. But the Israelites were unfaithful in regard to the devoted things. Achan, son of Carmi, the son of Zimri, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took some of them. So the Lord's anger burned against Israel. So the context is, after they have wiped out a nation called Jericho, the Lord said to them, the Lord's given the commands to the Israelites to not take any of the jewelry, to not take any of items that the Lord is not commanding them. So they took out silver, they took out gold just for themselves. They took out reward for themselves. So the Lord's anger is burned. And when they went up against the new armies across the Jordan River, they wouldn't stand a chance because the Lord is not with them. So let's continue. Now Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is near Beth Aven, to the east of Bethel, and told them, "Go up and spy out the region." So the men went up and spied out Ai. When they returned to Joshua, they said, "Not all the army will have to go up against Ai. Send 2,000 or 3,000 men to take it, and do not worry the whole army, for only a few people live there." So about 3,000 went up, but they were routed by the men of Ai, who killed about 36 of them. They chased the Israelites from the city gate as far as the stone quarries, and struck them down on the slopes. At this, the hearts of the people melted in fear and became like water. So they have their own strategies now. They have confidence in them because they have won the last war. But what they do not know is their pride starting to rise. Their evil thoughts, their cold hearts started to rise up to the surface, and the Lord had seen them. So when they collect their own strategies, when they want to go up against their next enemies, their next opponents, they didn't expect it. They didn't expect what will the enemy do. And then they were surrounded by the people of Ai. So, continue on chapter 7, verse 6. Then Joshua tore his clothes and fell face down to the ground before the ark of the Lord, remaining there till evening. The elders of Israel did the same and sprinkled dust on their heads. And Joshua said, "Alas, Sovereign Lord, why did you ever bring this on their heads?" Their heads is the people who was killed, 36 of them. And Joshua said, "Alas, Sovereign Lord, why did you ever bring this people across the Jordan to deliver us into the hands of the Amorites to destroy us? If only we had been content to stay on the other side of the Jordan." pardon your servant, Lord. What can I say? Now that Israel has been routed by its enemies, the Canaanites and the other people of the country will hear about this, and they will surround us and wipe out our name from the earth. Now, before this, when Israel conquered many nations before, when Israel's was being helped by the Lord, by Elohim, by Yahweh, many nations from the other side have heard about them. That's why the story of Rahab, the prostitute who had helped the spies of Joshua, went free. That's why she knows what was going on, and then she repented and she got into believing. She started to believe Elohim. She started to pray. She started to live among the Israelites, and she was saved by the Lord. Okay, let's continue. So, what happens next? What happened is, after they had crossed the Jordan River, after they have surrounded by Ai, and the men were killed, this is what happens. The Canaanites and the other people of the country will hear about this, and they will surround us, Lord, and wipe out our name from the earth. What then will you do for your own great name? So let's point out that, first of all, Joshua's heart is not hardened like any other because he was the leader. His heart, and God knows his heart, was on the right place. So when he said, like, what then will you do for your own great name? It's not like a manipulative person. It's real. It's like, I'm doing this for your name, Lord. I'm doing this because of you who have sent me. I feel like it's pure going out from Joshua's heart. And then the Lord replied. The Lord said to Joshua, stand up. What are you doing? What are you doing down on your face? Israel have sinned. They have violated my covenant, which I command them to keep. They have taken some of the devoted things. They have stolen. They have lied. They have put them with their own possessions. That is why the Israelites cannot stand against their enemies. Now see that the Lord has spoken to Joshua and told him these things. They burn their backs and run because they have been made liable to destruction. I will not be with you anymore unless you destroy whatever among you is devoted to destruction. Now, as we can see before, it is mentioned that God is a jealous God. So any form that could be converted as idolatry could be converted as putting other things above God. God doesn't like. It's a no-no for him. And we and our hearts know that sometimes we put up other things. We put up our own hobbies. We put up our own video games. We put up a lot of person above God first. And as we can see here, the Lord is a jealous God. He is jealous, not like human jealous, but he is a jealous God because he truly loves us, guys. Okay, let's move on. Go, consecrate the people. Tell them, consecrate yourselves in preparation for tomorrow. For this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. There are devoted things among you, Israel. You cannot stand against your enemies until you remove them. In the morning, present yourself tribe by tribe. The tribe the Lord chooses shall come forward, clan by clan. The clan the Lord chooses shall come forward, family by family, and the family the Lord chooses shall come forward, man by man. Whoever is caught with the devoted things shall be destroyed by fire, along with all that belongs to him. He has violated the covenant of the Lord and has done an outrageous thing in Israel. Now, we can see consecrate yourself is meant that the Israelites were to undergo a purification ceremony, like one mentioned in chapter 3, verse 5 at Joshua, when they were preparing to cross the Jordan River. Such practices prepared the people to enter into God's presence and routinely remind them of their sinfulness and His holiness. Now, as you can see here, in the Old Testament, God, the Lord, is not a Lord who punishes men for His own happiness. No. As we can see here, Jesus hasn't been born into the world. Jesus hasn't been declared by the book yet at this time. So there were so many rituals, there were so many ceremonials to substitute their sin. So it's like when you sin, you have to give something in return so that the Lord will be less angry. Yeah, that's what it is. For the Lord to be less angry is you have to do certain things, you have to devote yourself to do some kind of things that the Lord had commanded you, is what God commands, to see whether the hearts of the people still want to be with Him or not. It is shown through actions, guys. Back then it was shown through actions, ceremonials, rituals, and a lot of things, just like sacrificing lambs, sheep, and other things. Early in the morning, Joshua had Israel come forward by tribes, and Judah was chosen. The clans of Judah came forward, and the Zerites were chosen. Now the clans come forward, it was the clans of Judah, and then the Zerites was chosen. The clan of Zerites come forward by families, and Zimri was chosen. Joshua had his family come forward man by man, and Ashan, son of Carmi, the son of Zimri, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, was chosen. Then Joshua said to Ashan, "My son, give glory to the Lord, the God of Israel, and honor Him. Tell me what you have done. Do not hide it from me." Ashan replied, "It is true. I have sinned against the Lord, the God of Israel. This is what I have done. When I saw in the plunder a beautiful robe from Babylonia, 200 shekels of silver, and a bar of gold weighing 50 shekels, I coveted them and took them. They are hidden in the grounds inside my tent, with the silver underneath." Now this seems like an outrageous thing to do, but many and most of the times we did this to ourselves. Sometimes we have violated some rules just to make ourselves feel better, just to make ourselves more richer, just to benefit ourselves. But in contrast, what we don't know is, on the other side of the fence, there are a lot of people suffering because what our actions have done. Our small actions, no matter how small, no matter how big, when it has affected other people, when it has reached other people and poisoned other people's lives, we should be guilty. We should be ashamed, and we should repent. Because why? Because we know that it's not true, it's not good when we are being punished because of someone else's behavior. And when we know someone who did this, don't rebuke them instantly. We have to approach them just like what Joshua did. Not by rebuking them in public, not by cursing them out, not by being mad at them, but an honest and open communication and just man to man, heart to heart, eye to eye. Just being faithful, just being following what God had commanded us. Because when we are being mad to someone who's being naughty, who's being rebellious, we are not getting mad because of ourselves. We have to be mad because they did this to make God sad. We have to do it more like perpanjangan tangan dari Tuhan. I don't know how to call it, but we have to be a servant of God, and we have to clear out His name, and we have to be a reflection of Him so that other people would sense it. Okay, let's move on. So then, what did Joshua do? Joshua sent messengers, and they ran to the tent, and there it was, hidden in his tent, with the silver underneath. They took the things from the tent and brought them to Joshua and all the Israelites, and spread them out before the Lord. And then Joshua, together with Israel, took Achan, son of Zerah, the silver, the robe, the gold bar, his sons and daughters, his cattle, donkeys, and sheep, his tent, and all that he had, to the valley of Acre. Joshua said, "Why have you brought this trouble on us? The Lord will bring trouble on you today." Then all Israel stoned him, and after they had stoned the rest, they burned them. Over Achan they heaped up a large pile of rocks, which remains to this day. Then the Lord turned from his fierce anger. Therefore, that place has been called the Valley of Acre ever since. The end. Now, let us see. Why did Achan's entire family pay for his sin? Now, the biblical record doesn't tell us if they were accomplice to his crime. We don't know if their families helped him or not. It is not written in the Bible. We don't know if the families had any idea, or does the wife knows about this and then they lied to each other. We don't know yet. But in the ancient world, the family was treated as a whole. They were one. And as far as I can see, Achan, as the head of the family, was like a tribal chief. He was like the head of the chief. And then if he prospered, the family prospered with him. And if he suffered, so did they. Many Israelites had already died in the battle because of Achan's sin. Now, he and his descendants were to be completely cut off from Israel. Achan's entire family was stoned along with him, so that no trace of the sin would remain in Israel. In our primitive and individualistic culture, we have a hard time understanding such a decree, right? But in ancient cultures, communal punishment was common. The punishment fit the crime. Achan had disobeyed God's command to destroy everything in Jericho. Thus, everything that belonged to Achan had to be destroyed. Sin has drastic consequences. So we should take drastic measures to avoid it. The end. Well, I don't know if I were to sin back then and my wife had to be stoned, my daughter had to be stoned, whether I would keep on sinning or not. I don't know. What do you think? 80% of me saying right now in this situation, I won't, but when the situation happens right in front of our eye, we don't know if our actions aligned with our words. And sometimes when the people who close to us is also not telling us the right thing to do, is not making us to be a better person, they sometimes are also being in the wrong. So make sure that you have a community, make sure that you have someone who you can depend on when times get hard, doesn't push you further and further into sin, but who can help you out of it and repent and coming back to become a partnership with Lord, to have a relationship, to have an open and clear communication, so that you and your partner could be more and more closer to God. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.